one another for who they are, beyond our differences in appearance, speech, interests, abilities, or friend groups. It's become a challenge to look inside those around you instead of seeing what we see on the outside. We acknowledge that as a high school campus, we will always have more work to do, but we hope to have shown you, in both small and large ways, how the gift of accepting what makes each of us unique, while highlighting what unites us, can be a powerful driver for change in our school and out in our community. Over the last 11 years, the Z-Links program has worked to promote that very idea, that connection and acceptance of oneself and those around you has the power to bridge gaps between peer groups, reduce isolation, and build a better school community rooted in respect, support, and compassion for one another. Through a greater understanding of the unique journey of life that each of you are on, we hope that you find greater confidence in who you are. One of our links once said it best when she said, "The power of our special education students has shown me the gift to unapologetically be myself, and how that power and that realization has changed my life." It's our hope that our Z-Link story has shown that when we choose understanding over judgment, inclusion over exclusion, and compassion over empathy, we help each other thrive, not just survive. I strongly believe that when we know better, we do better, and that's one of the most important things we could take away from this week. Let's continue to do better, let's continue to be better, and let's continue to support those around us. Today, we're honored to have the opportunity to hear from somebody who has taken this very message to students across the country. David Flood is a married father of 2 children. He is a board member of Kids Plus, a nonprofit which helps special needs children. He's a member of the Drug and Alcohol Task Force in his hometown of Northport, New York, on Long Island. David has been a lecturer in his church parish for over 35 years. He's also a hospice volunteer that visits terminally ill patients. He has spoken in 40 states and Canada to more than 600,000 students. His social media videos receive over 160 million views. He and his son are authors of a children's book, and he's been interviewed on CNN. David is addicted to Sour Patch Kids, Sour Skittles, Starbucks coffee, Dunkin' Donuts, and anything else with sugar or caffeine. Please help me welcome Mr. David Flood.
Kumusta na ho kayo sa inyong lahat? Taga saan? Ang asawa ko ay nakatira sa Parañaque. Oh, I'm sorry, Zealand. Did you guys think the talk was going to be in English? Did you guys think the talk was going to be in English? Yes? Okay, cool. That's okay. I will do the talk in English if someone can tell me what language that is. Who said Korean? That's wrong. Yes, Seoul? Yeah, no. But no, sir. What is it? Bajigwa? Oh, is it? No, it's not. I don't know if that's a Native American language. Anyone else want to take a guess? It's not Spanish. Sir? No. Did you say Portuguese? That's wrong too. All right, I'll give you one hint. It's a rough one, okay? It's a tough one. I think you know. It's a group of islands, but it's not Hawaiian. Anybody? Samoan, no. I heard it. Puerto Rican Spanish, bro. Come on, man. The islands are the Phil. Thank you. What's the language? No, the people are Filipino. They speak Tagalog. Thank you very much. Give that person a round of applause, whoever got that. Yay, Tagalog. I can't tell if that was a white person or a brown person, so whatever. White people, we don't know languages. Anyway. Oh, relax. So what I just said to you guys was, I said, "Como está na ho kayo sa inyong lahat?" That's a very formal welcome in Tagalog. And then if I met another Filipino person, I would say to them, "Taga saan?" That means, "Where are you from?" And then I would respond to that, "Ang asawa ko ay nakatira sa Parañaque." That means my wife is from a city in the Philippines called Parañaque. My wife is Filipino. And the reason I start all of my talks that way is because I love my Filipino family. I really love my Filipino family. And I think they love me. Not sure. But here, most of the time. But here's the thing, guys. I don't know how else to say it, so I'm just going to say it. My children don't look like me. I don't know if that's good or bad. How many think that's good? How many think that's bad? How many of you don't care? Yeah, we don't care, Mr. Flood. Why are you telling us this? Well, because it comes up once in a while, my children, especially my daughter, they look like their mom. They look Filipino. They look Asian. My whole family has thick, black, beautiful hair, the most beautiful brown almond eyes. And when we go to the beach in the summertime, my whole family gets tan, and I get sunburn and skin cancer. That's not funny. Are you snickering at my pasty white skin? Sunburn's not funny. But when my daughter, Sarah, was a baby, she's not that cute anymore. Well, I'll show you after pictures. But when my daughter Sarah was a baby, I was in a bank one time, and Sarah's a baby, so she's up on the counter in the bank, and in the car seat carrier thing that you carry a baby in, and I'm making my transaction, minding my own business, and a woman behind me in the bank looks at me, and then she looks at Sarah, and she looks back at me, and she goes, oh, she's so beautiful. Where'd you get her? So I step back, and I'm like, well, gee, ma'am, do you not know where babies come from? Like my wife and I, no, I didn't do that. I wanted to. But what I did say, because I'm very sarcastic, and if you ask me a stupid question, I'm going to give you a stupid answer. I looked right at her, and I go, Walmart. Yeah, there was a big special on Filipinos last week. They were buy one, get one. You should go. Everyone should. Now, listen, not just that lady in the bank. Don't we all say things without thinking? I'll never forget when I was growing up, my mom had a bunch of signs in our kitchen. There were probably like 10 of them. I don't remember what 9 of them said, but one of them said, be sure brain is in gear before engaging mouth. Like, make sure your brain is working before you open your mouth. So Sarah is no longer a baby. She's 23 now, but she rarely acts 23. Sometimes she acts 15. Sometimes she acts 12. Sometimes she acts like she's 5. Have you guys all seen Willy Wonka, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? Who are the 2 bratty girls in Willy Wonka? Just yell them out. Violet and Veruca, right? Guys, imagine if Veruca and Violet raised a child together. Yeah, just because no way, Mr. Floyd. Yeah, that would be Sarah. She's like, Daddy, I want a golden ticket and a pony. I want Ugg boots and a Patagonia jacket. I want a Louis Vuitton bag. I want a Tory Burch bag. I want an iPhone 25. I'm like, yeah, well, they don't make that one yet, Sarah. Well, then dig up Steve Jobs and have him make me one. I'm pre-order it. I want it now. And I still get nervous, guys, before I speak. I was a little bit today, but last year I spoke in almost 100 schools in 30 different states. And I didn't know anyone before I walked into, I knew Nate, just by phone, but I didn't know anyone before I walked into Zealand today. But if I'm nervous, what I will do is I will stay in the parking lot of the school, sit in my car, read, pray, meditate, listen to music, and I'll drink my tea and my coffee. Now, I know Sarah's getting dressed and ready for school, so what I would do is text her for moral support, and I'd be like, hey, Sarah, it's Daddy. I love you. I miss you. Daddy's a little nervous today. Can you text me back like the hands folded emoji, the heart emoji? Daddy, you're going to be great. The kids are going to love you. We love you. Don't worry about it. She texts me the same thing every time. You're chubby and you have man boobs. You guys ever get a text from someone you don't know how to respond? You want to know what I wrote back? Thanks, Sarah. You too. And mine are bigger. Have a great day. Love you, sweetie. Bye. Oh, wait a second. Do you guys really think I would text that to my own daughter? Of course I did. What else would I text her? Don't text that to your dads. Come to think of it, don't text that to anybody. And my son Justin is awesome too. Justin likes anime. Come on, anime fans. I know you're in here. Loud and proud. Put your hand up if you like anime. I know you're in here. Yes, I see you. I identify you. I am with you. We go everywhere. We go to Comic-Con, WinterCon, Big AppleCon, EternaCon, FanFest. He's a maniac. Cosplay. We've been to Comic-Cons in like 4 different states. That's a TFCon. That's a Transformers convention. And it lasts... Wait, before I do that, don't look at the hair when I change hats. Oh, stop. You'll all lose your hair someday. Can you guys see Goku from the back? I'm like this close to doing cosplay. But that's at a Transformers Con convention a couple years ago in Boston. Justin, at last count, has 312 collectible Transformers. That's not counting the Legos and the other collectibles he has. He's got me going to some store in Utica which is like an hour north of Detroit. It's like 300 miles away. He's like, yeah, Dad, there's a store in Utica, Michigan you got to go to. I travel around the country going to collectible toy stores. And just a cute story about Justin. I mean, you guys might find this funny, I don't know, or weird. But I don't know if you did this in Zealand. I would assume that you do. At the end of 8th grade, you have a meeting with your counselor to talk about what high school is going to be like to kind of prepare you for high school, right, at the end of middle school. So Justin has a meeting with his counselor at the end of 8th grade, and he says to her, and I quote, he said, Mrs. Pelicano, when I get to high school, do I get a girlfriend? He thought you got assigned a girlfriend. I don't know why I'm doing that. He thought you got put together with someone like a partner in, that'd be weird, right? I was given a talk in an assembly with 1,000 kids, and there's a freshman sitting in the front row, and he raises his hand, he jumps up, no, Mr. Flood, that'd be amazing. I was in Minnesota or somewhere in the Midwest, and he jumps up, he goes, that would be awesome, it would take all the pressure off of asking people out. And I'm like, dude, you better sit down, your classmates are gonna think you're weird. You can't have arranged relationships. And the other thing you guys need to know, you know, everything I say to you guys today is my own opinion. And there's 8 billion people on the planet, so guess what? There's 8 billion opinions. I think what I have to say has value. I hope it does. I hope I say something to you guys today that helps you or helps you to help somebody else. But in my opinion, just my opinion, my wife and my daughter and myself are very important parts of our family. But for me, Justin is slightly more important than the three of us. And the reason for that is that Justin has autism. And he's awesome. He's an awesome kid with autism. He's kind, he's caring, he's compassionate, he's funny, but he doesn't know where he fits in, right? He can't look somebody in the eye. He doesn't know how to sit down at a table with a group of people and have a conversation because all he wants to do is talk about himself. Justin doesn't have friends. He's got acquaintances. He goes to a program, but he spends the majority of his time alone. You know, one day he called me from school a few years ago. 32 times in one day. 32 times. And that's not because he didn't have anybody to talk to. There were lots of people for him to talk to. It's that no one would talk to him. And when he first got to high school, he was struggling a lot. I would say the first month, probably 2 months of freshman year, he got in trouble half a dozen times. And listen, there's got to be consequences for any kid, a typical kid or a special needs kid. And he gets sent home from school, and my wife sits him down, and she said, Justin, what's going on, buddy? You know, you're not acclimating to high school. What can mom and dad do to help you? And he looked at my wife, and he said, Mommy, I'm lonely. And that was the way his loneliness was manifesting itself and him acting out, looking for attention. And guys, when my wife told me that, I could not process that then or now because Justin went to school with 2,000 kids. There were 2,000 kids walking around the building. So all I'm thinking in my mind is, how can anybody be lonely in a building where there's over 2,000 people walking around? How do we let that happen? And I didn't fly after one canceled flight yesterday. And then I didn't fly to Detroit yesterday and then drive over here at 9 o'clock last night. And next week I'm going to leave my family for a week. Guys, I didn't do that for sympathy. I don't travel around the country looking for sympathy. I do not want you to feel sorry for me, and I don't even want you to feel sorry for Justin. But if me talking about those things helps you to, one, connect the place in yourself where you felt lonely, because we all have, no matter how high up on the Zealand food chain you think you are, academically, athletically, socially, artistically, musically. And if you don't want to use the word lonely, no problem. Excluded from, different from, unsure about, anxious about, confused about, depressed about. If I connect with you in any of those places, I will have done a pretty good job. That's a pretty good job, Dave. But if I connect with you in a place where you can realize, recognize, and acknowledge loneliness in another person, then I will have done an excellent job. And not just a special needs kid, because in most schools that I speak in, special needs kids get extra attention. But it's kids who are just shy or quirky or socially awkward. They're trying to figure it out. And you know they are. They walk the hall alone. They ride the bus alone. They sit in the cafeteria alone. See, guys, I'm not here to talk about autism. Right? Topic's not autism, it's inclusion. It's about how do we get closer to others, but I think what's even more powerful than that is how can I be a connector? How do we bring people together? And I give 2 different talks to kids. So this talk I'm giving you guys today on empathy and belonging. And then I also do a talk on drug and alcohol awareness and suicide prevention and self-harm in middle schools and high schools. So I just try and stay like educated and current, that I can give kids information that's going to help them, that's current. And many years ago, I was speaking in a school in Virginia all day, did a parent night at night, and I go back to my hotel room, it's 10 o'clock at night, and I'm like, you know what, while I'm getting ready for bed, I'm going to watch TV. So I turn on PBS, and there's a program on about the opioid epidemic, and I'm watching it for like 15 minutes, and I'm like, yep, knew that, yep, heard that before, yep, okay, okay, I've heard that before. So I decide, you know what, I know most of what I'm hearing, I'm going to bed. But I'll leave the timer on the TV. Now, just being transparent, standing in front of you guys, even though I didn't come to talk about drugs and alcohol, the reason I knew those things about addiction is because I've been in recovery. I've been sober for 35 years. I haven't used drugs and alcohol since December 29th, 1990. So I got like 35 light years to go to be the person I want to be. Hey, listen, okay, here's the deal with that round of applause. Hopefully my ADHD won't kick in. But I appreciate that round of applause. But you did, I want to say this really strongly. You did not just clap for me. You clapped for the thousands of men and women who helped me get sober and who continue to help me stay sober. Because, again, my opinion, nobody gets sober alone. Nobody survives trauma alone. As far as I'm concerned, nobody does anything great alone either. So I appreciate that round of applause. But it was really for the people who helped me. Anyway, I'm falling asleep to this program on addiction. And I would say with maybe, I don't know, like 5 minutes to go, I hear 3 words that woke me up, couldn't go back to bed that night. I've been obsessed with that topic ever since then, and I've used those 3 words in every talk that I've given since then. No matter who I'm speaking to, no matter where I'm speaking, no matter what I'm speaking about, it said loneliness is toxic. And I sit up in the bed thinking, wow, I've never heard that before. Wow, I've never read that before. Then I'm sitting at the end of the bed as the program is ending. I'm staring at the TV and thinking, oh, my God. Justin told my wife that he was lonely. I better educate myself on social isolation. And when I did, I started to read and find out 5th grade seems to be the time the kids start building walls around themselves that are so high and so thick that nobody can get in. And it doesn't take too long for someone to equate loneliness with danger. So they figure, you know what, I'm not even going to try to figure out if those people are joking around with me. I'm just blocking everything out. Listen, if you're introverted and shy, those are not unhealthy characteristics. I happen to believe some of the most creative people on the most creative people on the planet are introverted and shy. They can be unhealthy if you build a wall around yourself. And you don't need to know who Jim Rohn was to appreciate that quote. You build a wall around yourself, does it keep the sadness out? Of course it does. It also blocks out the joy. Maybe you've heard of a guy named Robert Frost, maybe the greatest American poet, one of, I don't know. He said, be careful when you build a wall around yourself that you know what you're walling out and what you're walling in. So if you want to be, again, the talk's not about autism, guys. So let's say you're someone who's more outgoing or aware, right? Can you reach over to, out to, down to, back to someone or go where they are? So what we're going to do in the time we have together this morning, and then I'm going to bounce around to some groups later on and hang out for the basketball game. It is a basketball game, okay. What we're going to do, I'm going to give you guys 3 simple challenges to work on. 3 simple things that I know will make a huge difference in your day, but more importantly, the day of people around you. You guys okay with that? I said, are you guys okay with that? Here's your first challenge. Don't worry, it's not all serious. We're going to have fun, too. Here's your first challenge. What I want you to do is turn to someone sitting next to you, near you. I want you to look deeply into their eyes, not too deeply, and there's no touching. There's absolutely, well, I mean, if you know somebody really well. I want you, no, there's no touching. Oh, I'm such a sophomore. You guys are juniors, right? I'm like a sophomore emotionally. I think when I started drinking at 14, I stopped growing emotionally. That's for another talk. I'll explain that to you guys later on. So anyway, there goes the ADHD. So anyway, what I want you to do is look somebody deeply in the eye, and I want you to say this. When I look at you, I see blank, and fill in the blank with one kind word. 30 seconds, take turns, go. When I look at you, I see blank. Teachers have to participate too. When I look at you, I see blank. 25 seconds. "20 seconds. Hey, and if you're in a classroom right now watching this, you should be doing this. I hope you're doing this. 10 seconds. I just forgot we're being live streamed. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, finish up. Shh. Let me see a couple of hands. Someone raise their hand and share what they said to the person sitting next to them. I got names, so yes. Knowledge. Give Caleb. Everybody say, oh. Nice job, Caleb. Who'd you say that to? Yeah, and what'd you say back? Everybody say, aw. Soul, what did you say to the person sitting next to you? What's that? Kindness, yes. And what did you say back? Confidence. Sophie, what'd you say? Very put together. Boy, that could be taken in a strange way. What'd she say back to you? Wow, everybody, maturity. You know what? Let's do this. Can I get a volunteer? I need a volunteer. Volunteer. Yes, that young lady right there. Come on down here. Give her a round of applause. Yay. Somebody fix her thing. Your thing is off. Okay. Well, excuse me, old speaker. Okay, what is your name? Lucy. You guys know Lucy? Give Lucy a round of applause. So Lucy and I, fashion. I didn't know. I got to check that with my daughter. So Lucy and I are going to do this exercise now. She's going to look at me and say, Mr. Flood, when I look at you, can you do that? Okay, 2 things. 1, I'll give you a minute to think about it. And 2, I'm going to tell you what not to say. Okay, so pay attention, Lucy. So I'm in a middle school in New Jersey many years ago, and I bring up this 7th grade boy, and he comes walking up. He looks at me, he goes, yeah, Mr. Flood, when I look at you, you look like you're from the 60s. And then another kid in the back of the auditorium yells out, nah, man, he looks like Doc Brown from Back to the Future. And then, Lucy, I do this leadership camp in Pennsylvania every year. And I bring up this freshman girl, and she comes walking up on stage, very non-threatening. And she walks up, and she looks at me, she goes, Mr. Flood, when I look at you, I see Squidward. Last week, a 3rd grader told me I look like a potato. A potato! Now, listen, don't judge me. I'm weird. I'm weirder than you guys can think. But the worst was, after I speak in a middle school, I love going in the cafeteria and having lunch with the kids. Don't even go there. So anyway, I know. So I'm having lunch with a group of 7th graders, Lucy, right? And I'm showing them pictures of my family, and we're telling funny stories about Justin and whatever. We're talking about all this stuff. And all of a sudden, they get all quiet, and they put their food down. And I'm like, guys, what's going on? And they go, yeah, Mr. Flood, after your assembly, we voted. We all think you look like Rick from Rick and Morty. And that was the last time I had lunch with 7th graders. All right, Lucy, ready? Repeat after me, Mr. Flood.
Mr. Flood.
When I look at you.
When I look at you.
I see.
I see someone who sees some people deeply.
Wow. Give Lucy a round of applause. Deeply. Wait, don't go anywhere. I got to turn. Sees people deeply. Oh, I wish. Lucy, when I look at you, I see me. She rolled her eyes, in case you guys are wondering. Lucy, do you like this shirt? Don't say yeah. Say, yes, I love that shirt, Mr. Flood. Oh, Lucy, like you really mean it. Yes, I love that shirt, Mr. Flood. Still a little weak, but I'll give you one. There it is. No, she knows it's coming now. Give Lucy a round of applause. There you go, buddy. Medium's good. Medium's good. We got it. Now, who wants to volunteer? Oh, all right. Well, the shirt's on my website. Lucy was like the only one. So here's the deal, guys. Lucy and I don't look alike, so in order to see myself when I look at Lucy, where am I looking? Yo, who said soul? Did somebody say soul? No, I'm actually looking in Lucy's her heart. And where is Lucy's heart? It's on the in. It's on the in. Listen, as far as I'm concerned, the first and last challenge for the rest of your life should be to stop looking at people on the outside and look on the inside. Stop looking at what someone's wearing or not, or what color their skin is or not, or if you can tell what religion they are or not, or you can tell what political persuasion they are or not, or if they have a disability that you can see or not, or if they look like Squidward or not. And guys, I know that's hard to do, to look at someone. I'm going to talk about the difference between sympathy and empathy in a second. I know it's hard to look at someone who doesn't look like you walk like you, talk like you, act like you. But I read a quote the other day from somebody that I'm in recovery with, and she said, the power is in the pause. In other words, you pause before you judge that person. Before you think something, it's like you just wait like a second. And I'm going to talk about words matter and differences in a few minutes. But it's so important to just pause, because when you have the choice to be right or be kind, choose kind. And listen, I'm not talking about in a sporting event or a test or a life and death situation where you got to get the right answer. I understand that. I get that. I validate that. I respect that. But in those stupid, mundane, everyday, silly situations at home and in school, when you've got, like, who went first to the cafeteria yesterday? Who cares? We're all going to eat. Who sat where yesterday? What difference does it make? We're together. See, if any of us after this assembly sat down, okay, and made a list of, I want to say this as strong as I can, and made a list of things that are different about us and that are like about us, okay? The things that are different about us, there'd be way more things. W-A-Y. There'd be way more things. But the things that are alike about us would weigh more. W-E-I-G-H. They are heavier. They are more important. Like, what's my first name? Nope. It's human. And what's my last name? It's being. Do we have anything in common? It starts, for me, sorry, let me exclude the other 7,999,000,000 right, people in the world, okay? For me, it starts with, I'm a human being. Everything after that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It starts and ends with human being. You want to stuff all the political, religious, ethnic, racial, whatever in between there, no problem. But it starts with, like, okay, so Lucy and I, right, I'm pretty sure the blood running through Lucy's veins is red. Oh, that's fascinating. Oh, we have a different blood type, but it's red. Cool. Lucy needs love and compassion and caring from her family. Yeah. Oh, wow, so do I. Lucy needs food, water, and shelter to live. Oh, that's fascinating. So do I. See, I think if we start, you guys get the point? See, if you start with things you have in common, then maybe you can celebrate. And listen, I'm all about diversity. I'm in an interracial marriage. I'm all about diversity, 100%. You got to start with what you have in common, and then you can move to a place. And then maybe if you can find out not who's right or who's wrong, but maybe you meet somewhere in the middle. I'm going to share some slides with you guys. And you substitute, because like I said before, listen, I didn't want sympathy for Justin. Sympathy's, you know what sympathy's like? Sympathy's like awareness. And awareness is good. Man, our country's got the awareness thing down pat. We got like six things. We got like 10 things for every month, right? We got Asian Pacific Island Awareness Month. We got a Gender Awareness Month. We got Black History Month. We got Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We got a month for everything, right? We're so aware in this country, it's unbelievable. There's a Grand Canyon-sized difference between being aware and being accepting. Awareness is like sympathy. Good, pretty good, good to feel sorry for them. Acceptance is like empathy. So you guys substitute, listen, I use this word interchangeably. Disability, difference, challenge. Forget about disability. Just think the word difference, okay? So awareness is knowing someone with a disability. Oh, yeah, I know that kid. Yeah, that kid's got autism. Yeah, that kid's got Down syndrome. There's a slight difference. There's a slight difference between being aware of someone and being accepting of them, okay? Awareness is knowing someone who's got a challenge. Acceptance is engaging in a conversation with them. And what did I say to you a few minutes earlier? What's more powerful than getting close to someone? Being a connector. Being a connector. You guys want to, man, you guys are juniors. You want to study something in college? Forget about the planet. The planet's going to take care of itself. George Carlin used to say the planet's going to shake us off like a bad case of fleas. You want to worry about the planet? Awesome. You know what I'd love to see? You know what I'd love every kid in this school to go? Go to college and go to learn how to be a diplomat. Learn how to be a peacemaker. That's what I'd love to see come from your generation. It's like 100 million people who know how to bring people together, right? Connecting them with others. Awareness is seeing someone with a disability do something you didn't expect. Acceptance is trying to see the good in them and at least understanding why they do what they do. See, for the first 12 years of, this is the power is in the pause, okay? For the first 12 years of Justin's life, I thought it was my job to boost, lift, and support him, to catch him up to, we don't use the word normal in the special needs community. Justin always says he wants to be with the regular kids. For the last 12 or 13 years of his life, and again, 8 billion people on the planet, this is my opinion only, I think it's our job. See, Mother Teresa didn't tell the Pope, I want to go help the poor people. She said, I want to go live with them. So you got to be able to imagine a life that's not yours, right? So I think it's important that we're just with people, right? Just if you come up to me afterwards and tell me you got a sibling with autism or a neighbor or whatever, or with special needs, I'm going to say, cool. Are you able to inhabit their world? Can you even imagine? Can you imagine what it's like to come to this country from the Ukraine or South America or wherever with your mom and dad, with one of your mom and dad, or without either of your mom and dad? No language, and just, here you go, integrate into the school. Can you comprehend that for a second, what that must be like, right? I was on the plane yesterday. Man, I don't tell stories. I usually let stories sit and process before I rarely tell stories that just happened. But I was on the plane yesterday, and I was freaking tired because my flight got canceled and then delayed for 6 hours. I was sitting in the airport, and I get on the plane, and there's a man there, and he's loading. I'm so impatient. He's loading his wife, I assume it was his wife, 85-pound wheelchair. She probably had MS or CP or whatever. She had some debilitating disease, and it took her a good 20 minutes to get onto the plane. And I'm worried about my crap, Dave is late, he's going to have to drive in the dark across Michigan. Holy cow, right? Can you imagine? And then I think of my wife. I'm like, wow, man, God bless this guy traveling with his wife. That's amazing. And stuff, guys, we see stuff like that every freaking day, and we just miss it. We miss it. You got to be able to pause and imagine. A lot of kids will come up, oh, Mr. Floyd, yeah, I got a brother with Down syndrome. My uncle lives in a home. My aunt, has special needs. That's great. They're a gift to you. Please don't ever be afraid to be seen in public with them. For years, Sarah wouldn't invite people to our house because she was embarrassed by him to have her friends over. Awareness, appreciating gifts and challenges, trying to understand someone, and acceptance is listen, you guys are way past volunteering age. 5th grade, mate with parents, whatever. 7th grade, you got to be volunteering because it's not just good for you and the organization or the person you volunteer for. It's good for people watching. Awareness is liking a post. Break it down simple for your generation. Acceptance is sharing a post. I told you sympathy was good. Sympathy's kind of good. Empathy's better. I know how you feel, and the highest level of empathy is acting on your feelings. Power in the pause. What's your first challenge? Look on thee. What's your first challenge? Look on thee. So when Sarah was in middle school, she had a group of like 5 friends, and these girls had been friends for like 6 or 7 years. Dude, they're doing it in elementary schools. It's gone. Anyway. They're friends for a long time. And they did everything. Soccer, lacrosse, cheerleading, kickline, dance, Girl Scouts. These girls were inseparable. And because I'm worried about Justin, always, 99% of my mind is on Justin running his life, I forget about Sarah. So I'm like, Sarah's good. She's good. She's good. She'll go to college with these girls. Boy, was I wrong. One day in the middle of 7th grade, right after the holidays, those 5 girls get her in the corner in the cafeteria, and they say, Sarah, we don't want to be friends with you anymore. You're out. Right? Oh, your name's not Sarah, is it? Oh, cool, okay. I'll go over here. Sarah, you're out. And she did nothing wrong, just one girl deciding to exclude her from the group. Now listen, Sarah's resilient. She didn't wait to come home to talk to me or her mom or dad. Her mom or dad. Pretty sure I'm her dad. She didn't wait to come home to talk to me or her mom. She talked to a teacher and counselor in school because Sarah knows what you don't talk out, you act out. Okay? Sarah knows what you don't talk out, you act out. What does that mean, Mr. Flood? It means exactly that. When you don't talk out, you act out. Now, listen, I didn't come to talk about drugs and alcohol. I said that before. But I can't stand in front of a group of teenagers and not at least mention a little bit. 2 greatest things I learned in recovery. 1, what I don't talk out, I act out, right? Trauma, and that's traumatic for a 7th grader. Sure, there's higher levels of trauma. What I don't talk out, I act out. But when I talk to someone about my problems, I cut them in half. And I don't dump them on that person, but it lightens the burden that I carry. okay? It lightens the burden that I carry. And I think you guys are mature enough to hear this. We're only as sick as our secrets, mentally. And I'm not talking about things you keep private for your, I get that. I'm talking about if you're witnessing trauma or you're being traumatized, home, school, wherever, right? You got to talk to someone. I'm going to tell you guys a story later on about trauma that came out for me on stage 45 years after it happened because I didn't address it. Second reason I tell you that story about Sarah. First reason, excuse me. We all act differently in groups. Boy, there's a shocker, Mr. Flood. We all act differently in groups. We just do. Is it good, Mr. Flood? Sometimes. Is it bad, Mr. Flood? Yeah. And I'm not talking about the verbal pressure that your friends might put on you to do something. I'm talking about that internal pressure that we think in our minds, oh man, if I don't say something here, my friends are going to think less of me. They won't think I agree with them. And here's the greatest, listen, there's a lot of most of the people in the world are smarter than I am, okay? The easiest example of group mentality would be a mob that's rioting, burning, and looting. I don't care what month it is. I don't care what it's for. It's a mob. That's extreme. You want a more moderate example of group mentality? 5 girls abandoning their best friend after 7 years of friendship in 7th grade. Same thing. One a little bit more extreme, okay? And there's people who have letters after their last name, and they're very educated, and they would stand up and say, well, no, no, no. Maybe a sociologist would say, oh, no, he or she's not guilty. They were influenced by the mob. I would love to be the attorney on the other side of the aisle, because I'd be like, that's a fascinating argument. I was taught in school that you're responsible for your own behavior no matter what's going on around you. And you are. Power's in the pause. I know it's hard to maintain your individuality when you're in a group, but you gotta listen to your conscience. It's that little voice, whatever you call it, okay? You gotta listen to your conscience, that voice inside you that tells you this just doesn't feel right. I'm gonna give you guys an extra credit challenge to do tonight when you go home. Listen, most of you probably won't do this. Maybe, I shouldn't say that. Whatever. If you do this, it means you wanna grow as a person, okay? Here's the deal. No one's checking, okay? Tonight, before you go to bed, either in the bathroom or in your bedroom, close the door, turn the lights on, stand in front of a mirror. I want you to look yourself in the mirror. I don't want you to just look at yourself in the mirror. I want you to look yourself in the eyes in the mirror, which is hard to do, okay? You're going to ask yourself a very simple question. That's the hardest part about what I'm asking you to do. You know what the easy part is? You ain't got to tell anybody the answer. Now, me, mom, dad, brothers and sisters, teachers, friends, nobody. It's between you and God, soul, conscience. It's called introspection. I'm going to take my inventory. You look yourself in the eyes in the mirror and you ask yourself, am I the same person one-on-one that I am when I get with my friends? And if I get with my friends, is our group inclusive or exclusive? And is our group appreciative? In other words, do we heap value on people or are we depreciative? Simple question. Do it or don't do it. It makes no difference to me. But if you want to grow, you'll do little things like this to take your inventory, a little self-check. And the second reason I told you that story about Sarah is because she knows how enamored I am by teachers and anyone who works with kids, especially because, that's an important slide, Mr. Flood. Jumping back. Guys, words matter, okay? Words matter. Say it again. Words matter. But, Mr. Flood, sticks and stones will break my bones, but names will never hurt me. Yeah, that's a good saying. There's a reason we probably stopped saying that saying. Let me tell you two reasons why words matter, okay? Over here. I'm going to do this from over here, okay? So pay attention. I do this with elementary school kids. But you guys, words matter for 2 reasons. One, the average human being takes in everything, okay? One person tells me something, I'm like, yeah. 2 people? 3, I believe it. They did a study. They actually did a study. This is fascinating stuff. I don't know if I've ever said this in front of an audience before. They did a study where a man or woman would go into work, and one person would be like, hey, are you okay? You look a little, like, flushed. Do you feel okay? I'm fine. I'm good. About an hour later, someone else would say, this person was perfectly healthy. About an hour later, someone would say to them, hey man, are you okay? You look warm. I mean, your face is a little bit red. You're moving a little bit. Yeah, I'm not feeling too well. 3 people, the person's going home at lunch. Just 3 people, right? Inferring. So words matter. And the second reason why words, because the average human being doesn't just let stuff slide off. The second reason why words matter is because you never, ever know where you're meeting someone. I call it the winter of their life. Like you could meet someone in the winter, they're struggling at home or with school, or they're trying to figure out who they are or whatever, right? You have no idea what's going on with people. That's why words matter. That's why what someone says to you, you say to people matter. Hold on to that over here. This is going to sound very contradictory, okay? Hold on to that. You guys are juniors, you get this. What someone says to you shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter, okay? What someone says to you, what someone does to you shouldn't matter. It just shouldn't matter. What you guys think of me is none of my business. I'm not going to drive around Zealand tonight and knock on your door and saying, hey man, did you like me? Did you think I look like Squidward? Was I funny enough? Right? It doesn't matter. And you know why? Does anybody know where your reputation lives? Does anybody want to guess where your reputation lives? Anybody? It lives in other people. You know what lives in you? Character. And you know what your character is? It's what you do when no one's watching. Forget about your reputation. What people think of you, they're going to think no matter what you do. You work on your character. That'll take care of your reputation. Forget about your reputation. Right? So what you say to people matters. What people say to you doesn't matter. Shouldn't matter. Not I don't care. It's literally none of my business. Sarah, I taught her very early, the connection begins with gratitude. And there's people in this school, obviously Nate talked about in the beginning, and who care about you guys, who love you implicitly, who would do anything for you. Obviously, they're here for so many different reasons. And the thing, we always, when I was in school, guys, it was a long time ago, but there was like a separation between the adults and the teachers. And nuns taught me, a lot of nuns and priests taught me, but whatever, not that they're any different. But there was a separation because I looked at them differently. What you guys don't realize, like you have no idea if the principal's got a nephew with autism, right? Or if one of your teachers is going through a divorce, and not all of them are going to stand up in front of you and say those personal things, and that's fine wherever they draw the line. But you can assume, I'm telling you, you can assume they've all gone through the same thing as you, and if not the same thing, something similar with the same feelings. And that's why your second challenge for today is to find 2 adults in this building. And I'd like to see you start with like the custodian, the lunch ladies, the paraprofessionals, secretaries in the office, nurse, counselor, teacher, aide, coach, Dave and Dylan, the officers, if you have an SRO here, greeter at the door, bus driver, crossing guard. Did I leave anybody out? Teachers, secretaries in the office, administrators, principal. And you go to them, and I'm just using, I need a last name. What's the principal's last name? Miss Bouvier. I just want to say, Miss Bouvier, I want to say thank you to you for keeping me safe and for keeping all the kids safe here at Zealand. Dave, Dylan, well, they call you officer, whatever, right? I want to say thank you to you for keeping me safe and for keeping all the kids safe here. And you look them in the eye when you say that. Thank you, Mrs. B. What's your first challenge? Look on the. What's your first challenge? Look on the. Second challenge, thank to. And where are you going to look when you say thank you? Do you guys trust me? Who said no? Dude. I don't know, Mr. Floyd. You said you like eating with 7th graders. We think that's a little weird. Just humor me. Say, we trust you, Mr. Flood. Say, we won't think you're weird, Mr. Flood. Listen, I'm weirder than you guys can think. What you think of me is none of my business. I'm going to tell you something. I think you're mature enough to handle this. Don't freak out. Don't faint. Don't run out of the auditorium. Okay, don't throw anything at me. Did you guys, not many people know this. Did you know that if you look someone in the eye for 9 seconds or longer, you can't help but fall in love with them? Not that kind, gentlemen, save it for later on. Not that kind of love, you weirdos. It's human love. It's I see you. It's right. Guys, after the assembly. No. It's all good. Save that for the classrooms. And if you don't want to fall in love, you have to stop at 8.5 seconds. What's your first challenge? Look on the. Second challenge, thank to. Where are you going to look when you say thank you? For how long? Who said 8.5? Okay. I guarantee you, all the teachers are going to be emailing the principal later on going, you got to come in here and tell my class to stop staring at me. I can't teach like this. I can't have 20 sets of eyes staring at me. Look somebody in the eye. Listen, I got a kid with special needs. I know eye contact can be tough. I respect in a lot of cultures, I think Latin America and some European cultures, it's not polite to look in the eyes of an adult. I respect that 100%, but look, just at least acknowledge them. So, when Justin was born, he developed typically, we don't use the word normal, especially in this community, for the first 12 or 14 months, but when he got to be 14 months old, he stopped speaking. No more words, no more language, no more noises. And he didn't speak again until he was 5. And now he won't shut up. Be very careful what you pray for, because it used to be, God, please help my child speak. And now it's like, God, could you have Justin be quiet for like 30 seconds? 32 times is nothing. He's called me 70 times in a day. 32 is what I've counted. He's called me a couple times since I was waiting for his van right now to pick him up. If you get within 50 feet of Justin, he's talking to you or selling you his book. He's got a kid's book about autism. When he was 18 months old, my sister's a speech and language pathologist, and she said, David, Justin is definitely delayed. You need to take him to a developmental pediatrician. And we did, and he came as having an autism spectrum disorder, and I'll never forget that day. All the selfish thoughts going through my mind, because I wasn't thinking about my wife or Justin. I was thinking about me. I thought I'd have a son who played baseball, football, and lacrosse just like me. What I had to learn was Justin wasn't going to be just like me. He was going to be just like every other kid. Unique, quirky, important, special, different, one of a kind. The other saying we have in the autism community is if you've met one person with autism, guess what, bro? You've met one person with autism. No two are alike. On the outside. On the inside, I think we're all alike. And when he was 2.5, we decided to put him on a bus to go to a school that was an hour away. He was 30 months old. No kids, Justin, the driver, and the aide. Did a year there at the new interdisciplinary school, and then 2 years of pre-K and 2 years of kindergarten. And remember what I said a few minutes ago? When he got to elementary school, I wanted to get him around as many coaches, teachers, mentors, aides, and he could boost, lift, or support him and catch him up again, right, to typical, regular society. Man, whatever, it was what it was. Soccer, lacrosse, OTPT, unified bocce, unified basketball, rec league hockey, all the viral videos, yoga, all the viral videos, 50, 60, 70, 80 million views that I've gotten are me telling stories about boys and girls doing nice things for him playing rec league hockey. When he got to middle school, the theme of his middle school and high school career, every single day for 7 years, he'd walk home, he'd come in the front door, he didn't walk, he came on the bus, get home, and I'd say, hey, buddy, where'd you eat lunch today? And he'd say, Daddy ate alone. And that used to crush me. I swore that if I ever got a chance to go out and talk to kids, I would tell them no one should have to eat alone. Now listen, I got no problem with someone eating alone. You want to read, study, pray, meditate, put headphones on, write poetry, do homework, listen to music, play a video game, wonderful. I got no problem with someone eating alone. I got a massive problem with someone not offering to sit with that person. And you might offer and they might decline, right? No, I'm good. I'm reading. I'm studying. Cool. Guess what? Maybe somebody across the cafeteria sees you offer and that makes them feel good. Because in case, I'm sure, I'm not going to ask you to raise your hands, but I know you guys have heard this from your moms or dads or maybe a teacher or a mentor or aunt, uncle, whatever. Oh, the highest level, like Mother Teresa level, St. Francis, Jesus, right? That level of kindness. Do something nice for someone else and don't tell anybody about it. Everybody's heard that. That's amazing. That's wonderful. If you can do that, by all means, go for it. I teach kids, dude, do something nice for somebody else and let somebody see you do it. Not for rewards, prizes, accolades, or praise, but because it's good for you, it's good for them. I guarantee I felt better giving Lucy the shirt than she did getting it. Why? Because I know that Lucy and I are connected at a human level, right? I guarantee I feel better giving stuff away than getting stuff. Like, you can get to that point. It takes a lot of work. okay? You're affecting people. That's why volunteering is awesome for you and the group, but people are watching, okay? Okay, so here's the opposite. You invite them to sit with you, and they don't say anything, right? They're shy. They're quiet. Awesome. At least they're part of, one of, included in. Please do not ever make the mistake that in high school, it's about the stimulating conversation in the cafeteria, because it's not. You know what it's about? Company. It's about company. And if you guys want to raise money for an orphanage in Costa Rica, wonderful. Go for it. You want to collect shoes and send them to Nigeria, to a village in Africa? I think that's fantastic. You want to partner with a poor school in West Virginia or in Arkansas or Mississippi, or in Michigan? Great. I pray, wonderful. Go for it. There's a kid in your school who needs you. You help one person at a time. Never worry about numbers. And you start with the person nearest to you. That's inclusion. It's not about doing stuff globally. Forget about globally. That'll come, maybe. I don't know. Your third challenge from this day forward in Zealand is no one eats alone. Man, I'd love to come back here and go in the cafeteria and there'd be a massive sign on one wall that just said, at Zealand, no one eats alone. What's your first challenge? Look on the second challenge, thank two. Where are you going to look when you say thank you? For how long? I know that sounds weird. Third challenge is what? No one? No one. You guys want to see family pictures? That's me. AI is great, isn't it? I was like, can you put my face on Squidward's body? So that's kind of like a Doc Brown, Bill Nye, and Rick and Morty mixed together. So I tell the Squidward story, right? At a high school, and this girl comes walking up afterwards. She's kind of sad. She gave me a keychain. I don't have it with me today, but she hands me a keychain, and she goes, Mr. Flood, listen, that girl was so wrong. You do not look like Squidward. And I said, well, thank you very much. I was a little embarrassed by that comment. She said, yeah, you look nothing like Squidward. You look like handsome Squidward. I used to look like that 45 years ago. No. There's my Filipino boss. Oh, sorry, wife. What did I say? That's Mary. She's amazing. And listen, guys, being in it, my wife I'm from the same religion. Culturally, 10,000 miles apart. How about a million? But I love being in an interracial marriage. 8 billion people on the planet. They're over there. Me. I love being in an interracial marriage because enough of looking at what I am, right? How about looking at something different? How about a different worldview? You marry whoever you want. Man, female, group, people, marry a sheep. I don't care. No, don't marry a sheep. That'd be bad. I'm working on that one, bro. That was good, right? You like that one? Listen, you marry whoever you want. I needed to be in an interracial marriage because it just gives me a different worldview. Not better than anybody else, but different worldview. So when Justin was... he was in high school, and it was early in high school. I was fortunate. I was there when he used to come home from school. And one day, early, like September, October, the school had just opened. He comes home from school, and he drops his knapsack in the driveway. And I'm like, what's going on? He comes running up the front door. He throws the front door open like Kramer on Seinfeld. And he goes, Daddy, I want to go to the prom. And I'm like, dude, whoa. I'm like, Justin, chill, bro. You're a freshman. You can't go to the prom. You got to wait. I'm going. I go, Justin, you're not going this year. You got to wait, dude. It's for seniors. I want to go. So he got obsessed with the prom. Every month, prom. Forget freshman year, sophomore year, junior year. So forget about it. The signs go up in the school, and all I'm hearing is the prom. So I go with my wife, and I'm like, he's talking about the prom again. How are we going to get him to the prom? Will he go with someone? Will someone ask? Will he go on a bus? And she's like, don't worry about it. We'll figure it out. I'm like, what do you mean don't worry about it? He's not coming to you about the prom. He's coming to me about the prom. I'm worried about it. So he gets a junior, and he gets invited to a dance with his camp acquaintances, 100 kids who go to special needs camp with him from all different high schools on Long Island, 100 kids as a group. And we're at this Knights of Columbus or VFW, wherever it was. And after the dance is over, we're up in a room, and I'm having coffee with some of the adults chatting. Justin is maybe, I don't know, 5, 6 feet behind me, talking to this really sweet girl named Larissa. And she's a senior at a different high school when Justin's a junior. Now, guys, being honest with you, my kids are in their 20s, but if they're in the same room as me, this is me. I'm not a helicopter parent, but this is me. When Justin talks to girls, this is me. Because I never know what he's... And they're speaking anime language. I'm like, what are they talking about? And there's a moment of silence, and I lean back. There's like some dead air. And Larissa goes, Justin, I was just wondering if there's any possibility that you... would you go to my prom with me? This is me. Full cup of coffee. What? I have coffee on my face. It's coming out my nose. I'm like, holy crap, this is it. So I say to these parents, I'm like, would you guys just excuse me for a second? I got to step back. So I step back, and I'm like an inch away from Justin. Guys, Caleb, pay attention. I don't know why I'm calling you out. In the history of this galaxy, universe, I guarantee you've never heard this answer to a prom invitation. Under no circumstances should any of you use this answer if someone invites you to the prom. And if you invite someone to the prom someday, I hope this is not the answer you receive. Larissa. Justin, I was just wondering if there's any possibility that you might like to, would you go to my prom with me? My boy, who's been talking about the prom for 3.5 years. We go to Mass almost every Sunday. He looks at Larissa and he goes, yeah, what the hell? Bro, that's Justin and Larissa at the prom. Don't say that if someone invites you to the prom. That's Justin the day after the prom. He didn't want to go to... He wanted the tuxedo to go to a convention the next day dressed as the Joker. He wanted to go to the prom too, but that's what he wanted. There he is, little Zenitsu. That's a little old cosplay. There's me and some Filipino. Some mornings I wake up in my house like, who are these 3 Filipino people and why are they living with me? That's my man. She doesn't look like me. Sarah's super proud of her, man. She's a registered nurse at a really busy hospital on the Nassau-Queens border on Long Island, 130 beds, 30 nurses, but she's an RN there, so super duper proud of her. She does not look like me at all, but when she opens her mouth, she's just like me. And there I am as a family. Now listen, if you guys are anything like me, and you are, because we're human beings, when we look at pictures, we make a judgment. So, okay, I don't know that family. So I look at that picture, I'm like, oh, wow, Mr. Floyd, your family looks so happy in Temecula, California. That looks really cool. Oh, cool. What the picture doesn't tell you the picture doesn't say that boy has autism. The picture doesn't tell you that girl has anxiety and had to come home from college. The picture doesn't tell you that mom has OCD. My wife freely admits she's obsessive compulsive. The picture doesn't tell you that dad still yells and screams at his kids every once in a while. Right? Mr. Flood, what's your point? Here's my point. Don't compare your family with another family. Don't compare what you have and someone else has, but especially when it comes to your mental health, don't ever, 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 ever compare your insides with someone else's outsides. We look at other people and we think they have it all together. Oh my God, no they don't. Everybody struggles. Words matter. And that's a picture of me and my mom at her 80th birthday party. My mom was my, without a doubt, positively, 100%, 1,000% best friend. And what I told you before, you know, my mom raised me because when I was 13 years old, she had to throw my dad out of the house because my dad was a raging alcoholic. And his addiction destroyed our family physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And my brothers and sisters, he drank long before I was born, but he really took off when my brothers and sisters moved out. They were gone, college, Navy, married, gone. Me, my mom, my dad home alone. She said, David, he's got to go. So she throws him out of the house. So basically what you're looking at there is my mom and my dad. She raised me, right? Nurse for 60 years, school nurse for 40 years, hospice volunteer 40 years. Amazing. So every year, the no one eats alone thing, I would see my dad. I would work with my dad right before Thanksgiving because he was a bricklayer. My pop was a mason. And I would work every day I had off from school from the time I was 12 till the time he died of cirrhosis of liver and cancer when I was 26. So for 14 years, I'd work with him every day off every weekend. And I'd see him every year right before Thanksgiving. And I'd say, Dad, where are you having Thanksgiving dinner this year? And he said the same thing to me every year for 14 years, David, I'll be eating at the diner alone. And I never had the courage to say to my mom in my teens or my early 20s, can I have Thanksgiving dinner with Dad this year? And I'll regret that for the rest of my life. So when Justin told me he was eating alone, all those old feelings came back, and that was on stage in front of 1,000 kids. So 3 weeks ago, I celebrated my 12th birthday without my mom. We had 49 together, do the math, 12 without her, right? I was 61 a few weeks ago. And a lot of people miss their relatives around Christmas. I made a joke with these guys over here before about moms, but I love my mom. And she was my best friend for 100 different reasons, not the least which of being is that I was born on my mom's birthday. And I don't think about, I think about her on the holidays, but I really miss her on our, not my birthday, our birthday. And I was sitting with her the night before she passed away because she came home. She didn't want to die in the hospital. And my brother's down in the living room, and I'm up with her in a room. Listen, this is my best friend. This is my mom. This is my best friend. And I'm sitting with her chatting. I'm telling funny stories. I know this goodbye. I'm going home. My brothers are staying with her, whatever. Do you guys all know the mom look? Of course you do, right? Teachers, you have a mom look, right? But she gives me the mom look, and I looked at her and I go, come on, Mom. Like, you don't have to tell me again. I've told you, you've told me 4,000 times, especially since Justin was diagnosed. I know what you're going to say. I know what you're going to say. I know what you're going to say. She looked at me and she goes, that's great, David. That's wonderful. I'm going to tell you one more time. She actually wouldn't say that. She would say, you selfish man. How dare you think your life is about you? David. And then she'd start listing people. She'd be like, your life's about Justin. Your life's about Sarah. Your life's about Mary, your wife. Your life's about your brothers and sisters and your friends, kids you get to go talk to, and the adults you're going to meet. Stop thinking life is about you. Guys, I said it to kindergartners a couple weeks ago. I may have traumatized them. I don't care. I've been accused of talking up to kids because I think you guys get from social media this crap adult message that I'd like to counter. It would be amazing if you guys went home and asked your moms about something, but I assume you understood everything I said. I'm amazed if a 5-year-old will go home and ask and say to his mom and dad or her mom and dad, hey, the speaker said my life's not about me today. They'd be like, wow, you got some nerve saying that to a 5-year-old. No, I don't, right? Why not tell them that early? Guys, listen, I respect to take care. Oh, my God, yes, take care of your health. I get it. Be successful, whatever. But your life's not about you. It's just not. It never will be. It's about the people around you that you teach such impact and influence, but mostly it's about the people you love and all the people that love you. Ask Dylan or Dave, the two policemen here, ask them if their lives are about them, especially when they go to work. Or a teacher. Ask them. Maybe the second question you want to ask yourself in front of that mirror tonight is not what's my life about, who's my life about? Because it's not about you. I saw that the first line up there is in the Commons where Nate walked me in as something similar to that. You don't need anything outside yourself to be happy. Happiness is found within you. You're connected all life, first and foremost, to those in school. There's nothing you have to do to be eligible for a life of dignity and respect. Stop worrying about people judging you and getting it right all the time. It's okay to be wrong. Being special doesn't mean you're better than anybody else. It means you're unique, not superior. The whole talk. Awareness is talk and acceptance is action. And I'm not looking for Instagram followers. If you write to me on Instagram and need help, I will help you. And if I can't, I'll find you somebody who can. And if your mom and dad works in a school and you think I did a good job, this is how I earn a living, wonderful. Let them know. I'm going to tell you one more story. I hope this ties everything in together. I don't know what it's like in Zealand, but it's probably, I know it's gotten older. 6th grade, when Justin was in 6th grade, that was the time kids go trick-or-treating alone. There's no more play dates, right? And you guys, I don't have to tell you guys this, you're juniors. In elementary school, everybody gets invited to the party. You know why? Because mom and the teacher makes the plans. Of course. You get to middle school, you can sit with whoever you want in the cafeteria, you can do whatever, right? All this freedom. And good, that's great. You're getting mature. You can invite anybody you want. But here's what happens to invitations to kids who are different. Special needs, right? Neurodivergent, difficult, right? Atypical, whatever. Here's what happens. No more phone calls, no more invitations. Justin's birthday is October 26th. He loves anime cosplay, loves getting dressed up. What do you think his favorite holiday is? More than Christmas. But he wasn't going that year because he wants to be with the regular kids. Daddy, I want to skate with the regular kids. He's not old enough or mature enough to go out day or night alone. okay? And he was following him in the car. So he's in his room, no costume, not dressed. He's not going that year. I'm in the living room. I'm getting up and down from my chair, going back and forth to the front door, giving candy out to the kids on the stoop. The fourth or fifth time I go to the front door, I give candy to the kids on the stoop. And then I go to close the storm door, and I look up, and out of the corner of my eye, I catch these two boys standing at the end of my driveway. Two boys from Justin's school. And I use their full names no matter where I'm standing in the country because I want to give them credit. Because all I am is a storyteller. A kid named Kevin Cryer-Hassett and a kid named Cameron Jacobs showed up at the end of my driveway. No phone call, no text. They didn't tell Justin they were coming, and they didn't come for candy. They waited. They waited until they saw me on the stoop. And Kevin goes, Mr. Flood, is Justin home? And if he is, can Cameron and I take him out for a couple hours? I go, Kev, God, yeah, bro. Give me 10 minutes, man. I'll get him ready. And they took him because they did that. That's Kevin on the far right. Cameron's the tall dude in the middle. Next to Justin and Christian is another kid who showed up for Justin one time in high school. The last day of senior year, I'll never forget. The last day of senior year, Christian offered to drive Justin home from school. It was a half a day. Guys, I live 30 seconds from Northport High School, 20 if you go through the stop sign. It's close, like a block, close. So the last day of senior year, Christian offers to drive Justin home. Justin had never been in a car with a group of young people before then. He's never been in a car with a group of young people since then. I'm waiting for the bus. The bus comes, pulls up in front of the house. I look out the window. He doesn't get off. I'm like, nah, no biggie. Maybe there's a barbecue after school. I'm not worried about it. 5 minutes goes by. Justin comes cruising in the front door. I look at him. I go, dude, how'd you get home? He looks at me, and he goes, I came home with the guys. For a 30-second car ride, you would have thought Christian gave Justin $1 million. The look on his face that he got to be in the car with the guys for 30 freaking seconds. You want 3 words for the rest of your life? Forget about school. Forget about school. Forget about school. 3 words for the rest of your life. Just show up. Show up for somebody else. And you ask any of the adults today, Mrs. B, Mr. V, right? Dale, hey, listen, Mr. Flood told me there's going to come hundreds of days in my life when I'm going to need someone to show up for me. You know what they're going to say? Yeah, Mr. Flood might have lied. There's going to come like 1,000 days in your life when you're going to need someone to show up. And there are. But if you guys show up for other people, when your difficult day comes, someone will show up for you. Don't wait for people to be kind to you. You be proactively kind. Be like Kevin. Be like Christian. Be like Cameron. Just show up. Thank you, guys. Have an awesome day.
All right, does everybody know where to break out to? Okay, I'll remind you if you don't. Here, give me a second. So Bullhouse and Linderman will go to the North Studio here in the auditorium or across the lobby. Okay, across the lobby, the North Studio. Your class will know where that is. Edwards and Comion will be in the south.